Welcome to Access Sportsnet Lakers. I'm your host, Chris McGee. Joining me, it's our Laker insider, Michael Bresnahan, and national NBA reporter for Fox Sports, Alyssa Rowland.
How's it going?
What a resume you got going right now.
Anytime you put national in front of something, that adds a lot to it.
When the dinger's on here, when the dinger's on here, we're like long time NBA, writer.
You're not that. You're short time, yet national.
Yeah. I feel honored to have that title, guys.
Remember Bill Oram? He's like covering the Portland Timber now. No one cares about him. You? Big deal.
We care.
All right. Let's get right to it because we have some fun stuff to talk about. After missing 20 games with a right foot stress injury, Anthony Davis returned to action for the Lakers Wednesday against the Spurs. Put up 21 points, 12 rebounds, and 4 blocks in 26 minutes off the bench. It was his first game not in the starting lineup since 2013. Here's AD on how he felt being back on the court.
It was actually like in the first quarter, the first maybe like 30 seconds to a minute. I was kind of just testing the water. Even though I've been playing pickup and things, like you can control that pace. In real game, you can't. If they're flying down the floor, you got to sprint back, or if your team is running, you have to run as well. So that was kind of the ultimate test for me. And then just seeing if something flare up, do I feel any pain, whatever. And after that, maybe first minute and then a half, when I didn't feel anything, I just wanted to start playing and felt really comfortable. And then just seeing the ball go through on the second free throw attempt, to get back in the rhythm and just start playing and just trying to do the little things to kind of get myself going.
I thought he looked good. You could tell, a few possessions, a little timing issue or whatnot, but overall, great, A+. He just makes the game look so easy. He takes so much pressure off us defensively, offensively. You can go to him. He score all 3 levels. Just really being aggressive and re-submerging himself into the system, into the game action. And I thought it was a great productive. Went over by 1 minute, so I didn't go too crazy. But I thought he was phenomenal.
You heard what they had to say. I'm asking you guys what you thought. How was AD's first game back? Go ahead, Brett.
Well, you had me at 4 blocks. Yeah. I mean, that's all I needed to hear. That's what the Lakers have been missing, like a good defensive presence down low. And different types of blocks. Some when he was helping out, some, one-on-one. AD is back, and the Laker defense definitely could use the boost. There's no doubt about it. I also liked his shot selection, okay? Took a couple threes, made one of them. Had 1 mid-range. Everything else was in the paint, just like this. So it's not like he was shying away, shooting fadeaways from 17 feet. No. Enough of this type of activity to make you realize, okay, he's not scared. He is not just going to come out here and play like it's, around the world or horse. I mean, he is going to attack the basket, liked his offense and his defense.
I agree. And the thing is, you never know how your body is going to react after 5.5 weeks away, after 20 games away. And he acknowledged that. He said, the first couple of minutes, I wanted to see how I was feeling. No 5-on-5 scrimmaging, no amount of practicing, no amount of bumping guys can replicate game action. And you could tell, like, the first couple of minutes, he was a bit tentative. Then he got really into his rhythm, and he looked really good out there. I know Darvin gave him an A+. I agree with that. If that's game 1 after missing 20 games, obviously, AD left off playing MVP caliber basketball, and I think he's going to be on the road to returning there after what we saw last night.
It's good to get that one game in, too, before the road trip.
Yeah.
Go against San Antonio, one of the lesser teams in the league, and then you can ramp up against the really good teams coming up.
If you look at his past history when he returns after a long layoff in that first game, this is definitely an A+. He didn't look like he missed a beat, and like you said, he was attacking, he was aggressive. I'll start with you, Melissa. What are your thoughts when he goes up to shoot a 45-foot three-point runner, and Zach Collins kind of goes under him, and the ankle goes? What were your thoughts?
It was terrifying.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a guy who obviously is pretty injury prone, and that is a very dangerous play. And it looked like he could have had a very serious ankle injury there.
Yeah.
So I think everybody in the arena, everybody who was watching the game was holding their breath. Oh no, not again on his first game back. You've got to be kidding me. But obviously AD said he was completely fine. He intimated that it looked much worse than it was, so that's a huge relief.
It looked bad on slow-mo replay, I'll tell you that.
Oh my gosh, really bad.
Melissa, do you ever see, after like the Cowboys lost or a team loses, it'll go viral. There's a guy that like literally breaks his TV in their house, like punches the TV. Producer B. Moore, who's doing the show, that's what he did to the TV here last night because he thought he was hurt. So we no longer have that TV.
And then he never found out AD was okay.
Yeah, no, we had to go to another room, and now they're fixing it and everything. It's great.
It's a shame.
Yeah, Prez, were you a little panicked or were you okay?
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't there, but just hearing the crowd response, it wasn't quiet. Usually when someone goes down, it's quiet. It was kind of like despair. It was like, wait, we just got him back after missing 20 games. I mean, he cannot get hurt again. It was a gasp. It was, there maybe some screams, but it was not a good sound, at least from the TV. I wish I had been here last night, though, to see B more maybe.
Yeah, he really
the TV.
went after that.
Are we
TV,
down to one big screen now?
And by the way, he's not in trouble, but they weren't happy with him. Reports that Lonnie Walker the fourth is going to make a return. Had a practice, a little run through with the South Bay Lakers. It's been a while, right?
Yeah.
Do you sense he's coming back Saturday, Brez?
Yeah, that'd be really nice. I mean, to be honest, I thought that he was going to come back after Austin Reeves. But, I think the fact they get one of those two guys back is a nice boost. And good for him for accepting the assignment. Who wants to practice with the G League if you're already proven yourself at the NBA all these years? But it's the right thing for him to do. And when are they going to get back? A guy who does this, a guy who attacks the basket a lot more than I ever thought he did. We would only see him a few times a year when he came into town from San Antonio, or obviously when they go down there. You learn certain things about people watching from afar, but he is much more explosive than I ever envisioned. They need him back, too.
You can jump in.
Yeah, no, I 100% agree. I think getting Lonnie and Austin back, I think those two guys, their contribution to this team cannot be overstated. Lonnie is a guy who the Lakers can count on for a scoring punch, which is something they desperately need. Austin is a smart guy, two-way player. So the fact that Lonnie could return very soon, the fact that Austin is working his way back, it's a very positive sign for the Lakers.
Do you have any Austin news? I feel like I haven't heard much.
I haven't heard much on him. I think hopefully he's nearing a return, but I've not heard an exact date yet.
Yeah, well, we're hoping.
Lakers not practicing tomorrow, so that's it's not much going on there. Got to get out to the East Coast, so
to Boston.
Not a lot of practice time. That's what I'm trying to say here.
By the way, guys, there's nothing like putting on the purple and gold for the first time, and Rui Hachimura was able to do just that last night, which was really cool after being traded from the Wizards. Rui had 12.6 boards in 21 minutes in his Lakers debut against the Spurs. He did a little of everything, scoring from the mid-range, catching a pass from LeBron in transition, hitting a three, and isolating in the post. Afterwards, Hachimura spoke about the whirlwind he's been on these last couple of days.
It feels so weird, I was just 2 days ago. I was with the Wizards, and now I'm playing here. Honestly, I didn't know. We looked over a little bit of plays and the defense stuff this morning, but yeah, today I think for me, I think I did pretty good, fit in pretty good with those guys. I think the play call was so easy, and we were just out there hooping. So yeah, I think it was great.
He was able to do it all. I mean, anytime I played against him in Washington, he made an impact on the game on both ends of the floor. And tonight we tried to feature him, in a lot of post-ups, knowing that he can do it all. Really good mid-range shooter, get to the basket. He got a back to the basket game, face up, can shoot the ball. So usually some of the plays that. And I got to talk to Coach about this, but some of the plays we run for me, we ran for him tonight. He's like, AD, you go in the corner. I'm like, oh, okay, No, but I mean, and we just kept running. I was telling the guy, keep going to it. The action where Rui goes in the post, and just tell him, and if they don't double, you don't pass. You go to work. So he got going, made a turnaround, then got fouled. So. I think he can really, really help us on both ends of the floor. Obviously, him getting acclimated with the team is going to take time, but tonight it looked like he fit in. He was able to fit in really, really well.
Yeah, you and I were talking off camera. We both like Rui. We're both happy. What do you think he could bring to this team?
I I think the Lakers could really unlock his defensive potential. And I think if they can do that, that would be huge. He's a 6'8" wing. He has the right size. He's a guy who can shoot. He's a guy who can shoot not only from the rim, but from the three-point line. He has a mid-range game. And if they can unlock him defensively, so not only are they going to have a three-point threat, but a defensive threat, this could be a very key cog for the Lakers. Let's not forget that last season, he shot 44.7% from beyond the arc. And obviously this season so far, he's been more around 37%, but if he can get back up to those numbers and AD can help unlock him as a defensive juggernaut, then he could be really big.
Can we get Rui in here to hear that? I like what you just said. That's positive, and I agree with her. Like, I think that's, let's get him in here to hear it so he believes it.
Yeah, do you have his number yet, Melissa?
I can't share it. I can't share it.
Press, that's the source. We cannot share it. You know that.
I think you could FaceTime him.
I could. He might be listening in right now on speaker.
We never know. Has he discovered Spectrum Sports yet? I sure hope so.
Did you like to fit Brez, like when you saw him?
I do.
Next to LeBron and AD?
It fit him perfectly. I mean, not a guy who, look, he's trying to impress his new team, a new fan base. He could have taken 19 shots last night. I think LeBron and AD might have told him during the timeout, calm down a little bit. But I don't feel like he was pressing. And I don't feel like he shied away either, which is another reaction for a guy who's, in his first game with superstars like LeBron, AD, and Russ. He didn't do either. He fit in seamlessly.
He didn't defer.
He did not defer.
That's a great point.
So I really liked what he did. Just kind of slid right in there. And Melissa, to your point about defense, I think the tools are there. Okay, we've talked about on the show a little bit. He's 6'8" with a 7'2" wingspan.
Yeah.
So the tools are there, but he never quite has been able to register those defensive stats, steals, blocks, and of course, combine them for stocks.
Prez, remember when everyone said Kuz couldn't play D?
Yeah.
Well, he unlocked his potential, as you say, because he changed his mindset. There's no reason why Rui couldn't do the same thing.
It can happen.
Right.
And it starts with Melissa's motivational talk.
Well, I was going to say, so, Melissa, Darvin does sometimes watch shows. So, what is Darvin going to do with this rotation? Maybe you can help him out right now. And this is saying everyone, Austin and Lonnie return. We're on this East Coast swing, and everyone's healthy.
That's anybody's guess because there have been so many different rotations this season, but I could see Rui moving into the starting rotation easily. I think Brez had a really good point that he played his game. He didn't press. He was able to fit in along AD, along LeBron, and that's huge. It was funny because at one point AD was even joking around saying that plays that were normally called for him were actually starting to go to Rui.
That was funny, yeah.
Yeah, I think these guys have some chemistry, and I think Rui is coming in with the right approach, with the right confidence, and with the right deference.
I think, Brez, also when it comes to Darvin in the rotations, we're always so used to people being out that it just works itself out. But, you have to also assume there's going to be some health, and you got to hope. So, do you see a logjam kind of starting to happen? Maybe even at the wing position, too, which we used to have none, and now we have a couple different guys.
This trade
I want Max Christie to still get minutes.
This trade had to happen because the roster was still so imbalanced. So many guards and not enough threes. Although Max Christie did indeed start helping that recently. But you still had LeBron.
He's playing great.
And then, Troy Brown Jr., I guess, Juan Toscano-Anderson. Now you have a guy who is playing big minutes and has done some pretty good stuff in a very young NBA career. Let's not forget, 9th overall draft pick. He definitely made an impact in college at Gonzaga. And he had his moments with Washington. It's just Kyle Kuzma happened.
Yeah.
And that pushed him to the bench. Nothing wrong with playing behind Kyle Kuzma, who, by the way, is going to get paid this offseason.
Yeah.
Very good NBA player. And, Rui's got a few things to show. He's in a contract year, too. Let's not forget that.
Yeah, he is as well. Brez, you can sit this one out because we ask you all the time. I want to ask Melissa, do you think the Lakers make another move before the deadline?
That's a very good question. I think there's a good chance of that. I think Rob Pelinka doing this move was not only intelligent because I think Rui is going to be a really good piece for the Lakers, but I think it also signaled something very important to LeBron and to AD. After the Lakers stood pat at the trade deadline last season and then obviously didn't even make the play-in tournament, he had to do something. And so I think he set the right tone, and I would not be surprised if something else comes along soon.
Was the price right to you? They did not give up either first rounder. It was three second rounders.
Yeah, 100%. And Nunn just had not been performing. He hadn't been getting the playing time. So I think it was 100% a great deal for the Lakers. probably like a B+ trade grade for them. I mean,
Yeah, for
they
sure.
hardly gave up anything.
I like it.
Yeah.
Melissa, President are not ready to give up those first picks unless they run it by us first. We want to
Yeah.
see what we're getting in return.
Harvard
We
needs
are
to call
glad
us.
that it was some
And
second-round
Robin.
picks. All right. Saturday, the Lakers begin a 5-game road trip in Boston. Join us for Access Sportsnet Lakers at 4:30. Game is on ABC at 5:30, and then switch back after the game for complete post-game coverage. Coming up on Access, LeBron's pursuit of Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is quickly approaching, and coming up, we'll discuss when we think LeBron will become the NBA's all-time leading scorer.